Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, June 18th through Sunday, June 24th, 2018. If you haven't already done it, make sure you go and listen to the monthly angel card reading for the month of June, as we're now in the second half of this month. So if you want a whole overview of what's been going on energetically, numerologically, messages from our angels and guides, as well as the astrology for the month, again, make sure to watch that video. So for this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using the Power Angel Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Archangel Divination deck, which is also by Doreen Virtue. So let's start by taking a look at your stones of choice. Now, I picked all three stones for the week that were stones that were going to help to bring a sense of clarity. And the reason being, before I show you the stones, is because we have Neptune, the spiritual planet, and also the ruler of not only the spiritual realm, but of confusion, delusion, illusion, and sometimes deception energies with Neptune. So again, I chose these three stones to provide a sense of clarity, but we do have further information and descriptions for each. So the first stone of choice is called Herkimer Diamond. Now, the Herkimer Diamond, it is a type of quartz, but it is the hardest of the quartz crystals. And it's actually the most powerful of the quartz crystals. So any clear quartz crystal that you have, the Herkimer Diamond is the most powerful of those. Now, it's a powerful amplifier of spiritual energy. The Herkimer Diamond helps with dream work and vision work. And because it is the hardest in consistency, it actually helps with having strength and durability to handle any challenges that you may be up against in life or in situations or circumstances. Okay, your second stone of choice, and this is selenite. This is one of my favorite stones. And this is actually in the form of a heart. And the selenite, again, besides bringing a sense of clarity this week, is a wonderful form of protection from the angelic realm. Okay, so you can connect with your angels or with the angelic realm with the selenite. And again, it's this powerful protection from the angels. Now, this selenite comes from, the name for selenite comes from the Greek goddess of the moon, whose name is Selene. And it's actually known as liquid light. And you can see it, the nice sheen as I'm kind of vacillating it back and forth. That's one of the reasons why I love this stone so much. It's got an opaque, kind of milky white color to it. Again, known as liquid light. Now, the selenite also helps to remove energy blockages within the body. And then lastly, we have clear quartz crystal point, but it's not just any clear quartz crystal. This is actually a Lemurian seed crystal. And I don't know if you can tell, but on the back side of it we have a lot of ridges. Actually, all facets of the crystal here have many very small, fine ridges to it. And these ridges are actually encoded ancient knowledge from Lemuria, which is why it's called a Lemurian seed crystal. Now, Lemurian seed crystal also helps with spiritual evolution and connection to spirit. This is also good for dream work, and it's considered one of the master crystals teaching oneness, or the sense of oneness, the idea of oneness, that we're one with not just God, universe, and spirit, but with all things and all people and all of humanity. So again, your stones of choice this week are the Herkimer Diamond, the selenite crystal, and the Lemurian seed crystal. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by talking about the astrology for the week. On Monday the 18th, this is when Neptune, that planet of the spiritual realm, turns to retrograde motion. And I did mention this at the end of last week's reading to kind of give you that heads up, so to speak, on this happening, because before Monday, so again, going into last week's reading, we're going to start to feel the effects of Neptune slowing down to turn to retrograde motion. And Neptune can kind of give us that floaty, kind of ungrounded sort of feeling, again, because it's the ruler of the spiritual realm, okay? It's not a very focused energy. It's not a very grounded energy, which is why it rules confusion and illusion. So again, we're going to feel a little floaty and ungrounded. We're going to really be connected to the spiritual realm. So this is a great time to meditate or do some sort of spiritual practice, prayer, chanting, even doing yoga or Tai Chi, because it's going to help to connect us even more strongly to the spiritual realm, to our angels, to our guides, the ascended masters, etc. Now, Neptune going retrograde is also going to make us much more sensitive, energetically sensitive to energies around us, energies from other people, energies from the environment. It's going to make us more chemically sensitive, so also more sensitive to foods that maybe our body doesn't agree with, more sensitive to medications or other substances. So this is one thing where we want to be a little bit aware of. Also, because it rules kind of that confusing energy or the illusion kind of energy. This is something where we want to pay attention as far as things happening that just don't seem to make any sense. So again, starting from last week, we may start to experience situations or circumstances, either in our personal life or just in the world, that just seem to not really make any sense. So there's a confusion surrounding it, or this delusion or illusion kind of thing. This is where we wear rose-colored glasses with Neptune, so we aren't always seeing things very clearly. Now on Tuesday the 19th and Wednesday the 20th, we have Mercury, and it's actually in a positive aspect to Jupiter on Tuesday and in a positive aspect to Neptune on Wednesday. So Mercury is in the sign of Cancer right now, which is a water sign. Mercury in Cancer is much more nurturing and loving and how they communicate and thoughts about home and family, because that's what Cancer rules. Again, Mercury is that planet of the mental realm. And it's going to be making what's called a grand trine with Jupiter and Neptune, because Jupiter is in the water sign of Scorpio, Neptune is in the water sign of Pisces. And so again, we have all three of the water signs indicated here, okay? And so this is a really nice, easy flowing, emotional, feeling oriented, nurturing, kind of energy. It's going to, again, increase our psychic perceptions because, again, Mercury rules the mind and our thoughts and our ideas, and it's connecting with Neptune, which is that spiritual planet, as Neptune is intensifying its effects as it's slowing down to turn retrograde. And then Jupiter is a planet of expansion. So Jupiter expands things and makes them seem bigger or feel bigger than they are. So our expansion of perhaps, again, psychic perceptions, intuitive abilities, our expansion of connecting with home and family, communications with home and family. And also because Jupiter is in Scorpio, there's that element of empowerment or power with Scorpio energy, with Jupiter expanding that. So this can be where we're speaking with a more empowered voice. And again, I'm saying this in a positive way because these planets are in positive connection to one another, okay? Now, it might have a tendency to make us more emotional because, again, we're dealing with all three of the water signs, which are all emotional signs. So that would be, one of the perhaps challenges of this is, feeling a little bit more emotional than usual. On Thursday the 21st, we have the Sun, which rules our identity, it rules our personality, and it's moving into the sign of Cancer, which it does every year around this time in the month of June. So now for the next month, while the Sun is moving through that sign of Cancer, we're going to be more focused on our emotional nature, our emotional bodies, our feelings, again, home and family, nurturing, caretaking, taking care of other people. Also on Thursday the 21st, Venus, which is in the very creative and sunny sign of Leo, is opposing Mars in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Venus rules the feminine, Mars rules the masculine. Venus and Mars are the lovers, and they're opposing one another. This could potentially be interactions with significant others. It could bring a chance meeting with somebody new, but there may be interactions with the opposite sex, and this isn't just necessarily on a romantic level, but also just with friendships and even co-workers and things of that nature. Also, Venus being in Leo, which is a fire sign, that creative fire element, and Mars being in an air sign, that intellectual, social air element of Aquarius, this can really kind of drum up and increase our ideas for projects, ideas for our goals, ideas of what we need to do, things that we are moving forward with on our life path. So this can be good for writing, this can be good for speaking, this can be good for learning, again, creating things, whatever those creations are. It could be artistic projects, it could be website projects. I mean, it could be just about anything that is of a creative and intellectual nature. On Saturday the 23rd is when we start getting a little bit, I don't know if I want to say more challenging with some of the astrology. We have Mercury in Cancer, and it's opposing Pluto in Capricorn. Now, Pluto is a planet of power, control, transformation, regeneration, death and rebirth. And this is going to make us contemplate things more deeply. Again, Mercury rules our mind, our thoughts, our communications. So we might be having some transformative communications with other people. We might be having some power and control communications or interactions with other people. But also, because Mercury is in Cancer, which is again an emotional placement, and that opposing Pluto can really kind of have us contemplating, reflecting, thinking more deeply, trying to understand things from a deeper perspective on the mental level, so that we can transform, let's say, our belief systems, or transform our thoughts and the way we're thinking about something. This could bring a sense of, again, empowerment by changing our belief systems, or again, perhaps we're communicating with other people in a more empowered way, or we need to take our power back in some way. Also on Saturday the 23rd, the moon is in Scorpio, and that can be kind of a hard placement because the moon rules our emotions and our feelings and our subconscious, and Scorpio is that very deep, intense, subconscious kind of sign. Now, it's going to be challenging, or squaring, as we say in astrology, Mars and Venus, and then connecting with Jupiter. So let's think about this for a minute. Jupiter is that planet of expansion. Jupiter is in Scorpio. So we're already dealing a lot with the whole empowerment theme, over the last few months as Jupiter is in that sign. It's also retrograde still right now, by the way. Now, the moon connecting with Jupiter, again, is going to expand that energy of secrets, the shadow side, the subconscious patterns, feeling things intensely, because, again, it's Scorpio energy. But, again, it's challenging Mars and challenging Venus. Remember how I said Venus and Mars are opposing one another? So the moon is challenging both of those planets, and that's called a T-square in astrology. And a T-square is a very challenging aspect pattern. So there may be, over the weekend, some challenging energies here with how we're feeling in regards to relationship matters. This could also be about money matters, because Venus also rules money. This could be about just our life purpose and, ideas that we're working on, projects that we're, continuing along on our destiny path, so to speak. So whatever this is about, this may, create some frustration. It, may create some challenges for us over the weekend, but nothing that's going to last too long, because these planets move rather quickly. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cards from our angels and guides and see what the messages are from them. So we start with the Nine of Gabriel. And in this deck, Gabriel is the fire suit. So this is like the Nine of Fire, the Nine of Wands in the traditional tarot. Now the message at the bottom says, stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility. And it also says environmental activism. Now, The number 9 is a very humanitarian number. The number 9 is a very spiritual number. It's also the last of the single-digit numbers. And so here we're coming towards the end of something on the spiritual realm, because again, it's the fire element. So it's not necessarily about things of a material nature, which would be more the earth element. You know, it's not necessarily about our thoughts, because that would be the air element. But here with Gabriel and the fire element, we're talking about coming to a conclusion of something spiritual. Okay, so our soul is moving through some sort of realizations or awareness, and we're coming to the end of what that's all about, which is a good thing. That means we're getting it. You know, it's kind of a completion thing, so we're completing something. But again, the number 9 is very spiritual, and it's very humanitarian, it's very loving and compassionate, and it's about service to other people, again, on a spiritual level. And that's about Neptune turning retrograde, okay? Now, it does say stay determined and move forward. So I feel like, again, we're going to feel like things are confusing, especially in the beginning of the week with Neptune turning retrograde. We're going to feel a little unfocused or ungrounded. So make sure that you just, you know what's going on astrologically and energetically, and know that that's something that you're going to be able to work through and be able to work forward or move forward regarding. Okay. And I like the idea about being prepared for any possibility, because again, Neptune can kind of bring some confusing circumstances, and not necessarily all challenging or all bad. You know, this can be about magic and miracles, because it's Neptune, the spiritual realm. You know, this can be about miracles happening. So be prepared for any possibility. It might be something very good. All right, let's take a look at the next card. The next card is the Magician. Okay, talk about the creator of miracles, or, you know, magic. So this is major arcana number 1, the Magician, with Archangel Raziel. And Archangel Raziel is kind of that magician, Merlin kind of energy angel. You know, he's good at manifestation and working with energies and divine knowledge and wisdom, you know, esoteric wisdom and knowledge, channeling abilities, and that sort of thing. The message at the bottom says, you can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. And successful beginnings. Now remember last week, we had a new moon in Gemini last week, so we're still in that waxing cycle of the moon, which is growing larger and planting new seeds for new beginnings. And this is telling us that we're continuing to move forward with those new beginnings. And again, I feel like something very positive can happen again in that early part of the week, when all of those transits are taking place with Mercury, Jupiter, and Neptune, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Thursday. So, you know, plan something positive for yourself. You know, take a step forward, because this can be something that, again, creates some sort of magical manifestation of some sort on your part. I feel like doing some sort of a ceremony, lighting a candle, saying a prayer, you know, using crystals for crystal energy or crystal magic, you know, whatever you're drawn to. I feel like doing some sort of ceremonial work, because it's the Magician, would be something that's very beneficial for you. Okay, so they're saying create, 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 create. Now the last card, there 2 cards came out, so we're going to look at both of these cards here and take a look at the first of the last 2 cards. And it's the 4 of Michael. Now this is the 4 of Swords, the 4 of air in the traditional tarot. And again, you know, that air suit is about the mind, the mental realm. And I did say we're going to move into some different kinds of energies over the weekend, especially Saturday, with Mercury opposing Pluto. Let's see what this says at the bottom. It says, insights that come from quiet meditation. And we did mention that earlier with Mercury opposing Pluto, more contemplation, looking within, going within, trying to understand on a subconscious level, to transform the way you're thinking, the way you're believing, maybe the way you're communicating. So again, insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, and seek relief from stress. So again, there might be some stressful things coming up to the weekend. Make sure you're giving yourself some downtime, some fun time. Get out into nature. That's always helpful for grounding your energies. Or let yourself, have a nice massage, or get together with friends, or go out to the movies, or whatever it might be. The need for more sleep also stands out, because that's one thing I didn't say about Neptune turning retrograde. Again, starting into last week and then into the first few days for sure of this week, as Neptune turns retrograde, we may definitely feel more depleted energetically. Physically, we're feeling again a lack of that physical energy, because Neptune rules the spiritual realm, so it's almost like usurping a little bit that physical energy. So definitely honor that and get more sleep if you need to. And then the last card here, the Seven of Raphael. So we kind of had almost one of each suit except for the earth suit here. This is water. The Seven of Water, the Seven of Cups is the Raphael suit. And the number 7 is a number about going within and being a little bit more silent and contemplative. And sometimes the number 7 is about confusion or lacking faith and trust, but it's also a very spiritual number. So it's about connecting spiritually, connecting to your higher self a little bit more. The message at the bottom says, time to make a decision, be clear on what you want and take action, and also a need for detoxification. Now, the detoxification is most likely on the emotional level with our feelings and emotions. And that again is indicated with the moon and Scorpio at the end of the week. And it's again challenging Mars and Venus and connecting with Jupiter. So, I don't know what the decision thing is all about. This might be as a result of what's happening there over the weekend with the planetary aspects, especially because of Mercury opposing Pluto. Mercury can definitely be about needing to make some sort of decision. And as it's opposing Pluto, just make sure whatever decision you're making empowers you, that you're feeling empowered by the choices that you're making or the decisions that you're making. All right. And take again some time over the weekend to kind of go within and do a little bit more soul searching or self-reflection or meditation. All right, so let's take a look at the message, the special message card, depending on your stone of choice. So we're going to just kind of give these a little shuffle here, and the first one is for the Herkimer Diamond people, as soon as that shows itself. Herkimer Diamond, and this one is kind of showing itself to me. Herkimer Diamond people, teaching and learning with Archangel Zadkiel. And it says, keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. I really like that because Mercury seems to be featured this week. Mercury connecting with Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet that does rule higher learning, teaching or taking classes, sharing information with other people. Then it connects with Neptune, which is very spiritual, and remember then it opposes Pluto towards the end of the week. So there's a lot here that either specifically where maybe it's a good week to teach a class or do something of that nature, or just share information or ideas or your belief systems with other people. This could be about you learning something from someone, taking an online class or going to something in person, a seminar of some sort, or just reading material, researching something that you've always wanted to know about or you've always wanted to learn. I feel like this is about our belief systems too, that this is not just about learning tangible information, but really paying attention to your belief systems and learning from a higher spiritual perspective what it is that your angels and guides are trying to teach you. And you might want to call in Archangel Zadkiel and ask for his assistance with whatever it is that you need to learn. I always like to say, whatever's in my highest and best interest, please make that known to me. So you might want to give that a try and see what Archangel Zadkiel or your other angels and guides have to say. All right, for those of you that chose the selenite crystal, let's give this a shuffle. And selenite, this one's standing out to me. This is claircognizance. Wow, definitely claircognizance with Archangel Uriel. Which claircognizance is about clear knowing. It's about opening that crown chakra and channeling information through the crown chakra, a clear knowing or understanding of whatever it is that needs to be known. It says, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So this is flashes of insight, flashes of information, just knowing something and not really understanding or knowing how you know that. This really resonates to me because of all the, I set up the table today with all clear quartz crystals, and as I said, all of the stones of choice are about clarity and bringing that clarity, and here we have Archangel Uriel with claircognizance. So you might try automatic writing too. That's another form of claircognizance, is the written word. Sometimes people are a good channel with just saying something, and I don't necessarily mean channel as we normally would think it, like people doing actually channeling, but that of course is one option. But channeling is just, coming up with new ideas, thoughts that pop into your head, just paying attention to those insights, those flashes of vision or sound or again, pictures or just knowingness that you have. And automatic writing, just starting to write something on a piece of paper. You could even start by saying, I don't know why I'm writing this, but Colleen said that this would be a way to channel information, and just continue to write. No punctuation, don't worry about how you're spelling things, and just creatively write and see what comes through. You can even ask a question of your angels and guides. If there's a specific question that you have, they're saying, sit down and start writing, and see what answer comes through the written word that way. All right, and then for those of you that chose the Lemurian seed crystal, this one, as soon as I shuffled, stood out. Lemurian seed crystal. This is comfort with Archangel Azrael. So Archangel Azrael is the counselor angel, helps with, grieving, and not just grieving a loved one who has passed over, which is one of her main functions, and this could be also a pet that passes over, as well as someone that we know that passes to the other side, which, it's possible with Neptune going to retrograde motion because it's that spiritual planet. But also, again, just grieving other things, grieving situations, circumstances, or relationships that are no longer in our life. So Archangel Azrael kind of is that counselor angel that helps us to grieve and let go and understand, with the purpose and whatnot, and move through some of those emotions. So she's providing a sense of comfort for you this week in some way, shape, or form. Now it says at the bottom, I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So I'm being told that this can be past life related as well as this life, that some of you out there may be going through some emotions that don't even make sense to you, that they're not related to anything that you can really, think of in this lifetime. So some of this is past life purging as well. But even those other energies, whether they be from your present life, your childhood life, or from a past life, all these energies do need to kind of move through you. They need to be recognized, be aware of them, allow yourself to grieve, or allow yourself to kind of experience that emotion or feeling, and then ask for assistance from Archangel Azrael or Archangel Raphael to kind of heal your heart and move through these energies and bring some sort of healing energy around the situation, the circumstance, the pattern, whatever it might be. And for those of you that might be grieving a loss of a loved one or a pet, I'm being told that you're being sent a lot of love and light and a lot of healing energy at this time. So I hope you've all liked this weekly angel card reading. Thank you all so much for following my videos on YouTube, sharing them, commenting on them, for following my Facebook posts under Colleen Lemma and Sacred Soul Empowerment, and also for visiting my website, sacredsoulempowerment.com. I appreciate you all so much, and I send you all much love and light and many, many angel blessings.